Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company, and welcome to our coverage of Watches and Wonders 2024. Every year I do the Zenith Rundown. Out of Loloc, the manufacturer is the quintessential watch nerd brand and one of my personal favorites. So where do they stand for 2024? Let's start with the new Defy Skyline Chronograph. So Zenith was a pioneer in full bracelet sports watches back in the 1960s and 1970s, and they jumped back into the game in 2022 with the Defy Skyline and its integrated bracelet. So for 2024, the Defy Skyline lineup expands into one of Zenith's traditional strengths, which is chronographs. So with the Defy Skyline Chronograph, we now have the Loloc manufacturer locking horns with periods like Girard, Perregaux, Chopard, and even at the high end, the likes of Audemars Piguet and Vacheron Constantin. We are looking at a chronograph that is powered by the second generation El Primero caliber 3600, and the Skyline chronograph packs the traditional high beat cadence and 1/10 of a second accuracy, but with the modern striking 10th Foudroyant chronograph seconds hand, so it's easier to read those individual tenths. Now the power reserve automatically wound is 60 hours, which is a good 10 hours more than a traditional El Primero, and the escapement is in silicon, which is both unlubricated and anti-magnetic, and both have great benefits. We still have column wheel for crisp actuation with a traditionally beautiful lateral clutch, and of course that high beat hum 5 Hz against the ear. The 42mm Skyline chronograph is offered in stainless steel, and all of this is water resistant down to 100 meters, but I should also mention that the chronograph features quick release lugs, which means the included rubber band and the bracelet can be swapped interchangeably and quickly without tools. Zenith also provides a special buckle with the strap, so regardless of whether you want to go with the integrated bracelet look or strip down a little bit with the strap, you are not going to need extra tools or buckles. Everything is in the box. So what are your options? Well, everything is stainless steel this year, but you have silver, blue, and black dial options, and all of them are available at a retail price of $13,400. Zenith's expansion includes looking forward with the Defy Skyline Chrono, but also back, and that's with the Defy Revival A3648. It's Zenith's gesture towards vintage collectors who want a classical style without the fragility and fraught aftermarket of a true antique. So in the tradition of 2023's A3691, the 3648 revives the 1969 dive watch of the same name. This is actually the first dive watch to be resurrected as part of Zenith's Revival series, which stays very close to the source material in every case. So we have period correct color and historically faithful 37mm size and steel. The A3648 is about as close to an actual re-edition as you can get without actually dusting off the old tooling. Now the 3648 recalls one of Zenith's first ever dive watches, and while Loloc was late to the party as far as dive watches are concerned back then, it made up for lost time with a then nearly unheard of 600-meter water resistance, and that continues on the modern example. This is also an early example of any kind of Defy, which predates the modern collection by many decades. The A3648 illustrates the direct connection between design features of the original and the modern Defy, especially the faceted bezels and the angularity of the cases. So in this case, because it is a diver, a unidirectional timing bezel and 14-sided fixed bezel just above that are true to history, and we also have the original's quirky off-centered ambidextrous screw-down crown. While the original used a high-cambered plexiglass crystal, which was germane to the breed back in the 60s, the Revival sports a bubble-cambered sapphire to achieve the same visual effect and charming distortion. The original's plexiglass bezel cap likewise is swapped for a modern sapphire that has been orange tinted to preserve the original look. So with that orange tint, you actually have a smoked sapphire bezel cap. I should also say that orange, which was an occasional feature of Zenith divers from the period, really dominates the color scheme here. We also have a true period 5-link bracelet that completes the character of the A3648. So the original in 1969 would have featured a caliber 2.552 PC, but the Revival sports a contemporary automatic Elite 670 with 50 hours of power reserve, hacking seconds, and a bidirectional quickset date. If you're interested and you want to take the plunge, the Revival has a recommended retail price of $7,700. All right, so Zenith's Defy collection also launches its flagship in the 2024 Defy Skyline Tourbillon. This one launched a few weeks before Watches and Wonders, but we're including it here for the sake of comprehensive coverage of the Zenith novelties. While not a chronograph, the Defy Skyline Tourbillon employs a tourbillon adaptation of the El Primero high-beat escapement dubbed caliber 3630. So we still have automatic winding, 36,000 vibrations per hour, and the movement, despite the power-intensive complication or refinement, depending on how you view a tourbillon, still has 60 hours of power reserve. Decorative movement features include sunray stripes, snailing, engine turning, media blasting, and satin brushing. And each example of the Defy Skyline Tourbillon features a 41mm diameter case and offers 100 meters of water resistance. So two materials are available. You can get stainless steel or you can get scratch-resistant black ceramic. Steel examples can be requested with either a black or blue dial. The black ceramic model includes black dials only, but it is enlivened by rose gold indices and hands, and all models include a starry sky scatter that radiates outward from an imaginary origin point over the tourbillon itself. Both steel and ceramic models include a matching integrated bracelet and rubber straps that are color matched to the dials. Quick release lugs permit easy swapping between the provided bands. It's not cheap, but given what you're getting, it's also not expensive, as the Skyline Tourbillon will retail for a price of $57,100 in steel and $67,400 in ceramic. Okay, once again, we've got a Watches and Wonders novelty. This one has just come out at the show. It is the Defy Extreme Diver. Now, there have been several generations of Defy Extreme through the years. Zenith continues its resurrection of the Extreme sub-series with the Defy Extreme Diver. So consider this the modern-day descendant of the Defy A3648 Revival. Really is filling the footsteps of its predecessor, but as so often happens, it is bigger, bolder, and more capable than the vintage watch. The Extreme features a 42.5mm grade 5 titanium case designed to resist depths as great as 600 meters. With sharply knurled unidirectional rotating dive bezels in ceramic, it's robustly scratch resistant, and this is a modern ISO 6425 diver, which means it's actually tested to 125% of the rated diving depth. As a matter of fact, it's a triple ISO dive watch because not only is it the diver, but it also meets the ISO 764 for an anti-magnetic watch and the 1413 ISO for an anti-magnetic and shock-resistant watch on top. So we have diving, anti-magnetism, and shock resistance all in one 42.5mm grade 5 tie case. Plus, there's additional capability. In addition to being 600 meters water resistant, it has a helium escape valve for professionals who undertake saturation-style dives. Dial loom is thoughtfully considered, featuring different colors for ready reading of the minute hand and the bezel index in low light conditions. So other features like the hour hand, the seconds hand, and the individual hour indices will be a different color than the minute hand and the bezel index. Zenith ships the Defy Extreme Diver with a suite of accessories including a matching grade 5 titanium bracelet, a rubber strap with a buckle, and a textile strap that's actually woven from reclaimed fishing nets that float in the gyres out in the ocean. So the watchmaker cites that last example as one form of its expanding commitment to sustainability across the board. They call this their Horizon Initiative. Mechanical spec includes a non-chronograph El Primero 3620 SC, so it still has automatic winding, 60 hours of reserve, 5 Hz beat rate, silicon escapement, hacking seconds, quick set date, and of course that charismatic cadence against the ear. When you hold it, it beats faster. When you watch the sweep of the seconds hand, it moves more smoothly. A display case back reveals the works as it does on the 3648 Revival. So here, Zenith suggests a retail price of $11,300 for the new Defy Extreme Diver, and that is Zenith at Watches and Wonders 2024.